I believe that all the athletes, all employees can improve. Everybody has a ceiling, but they can improve. And they improve better or easier if somebody believes on them.
Welcome everyone. Today we will be talking with Luis. He's a former Portuguese sprinter. He participated in 3 Summer Olympics as well as 3 World Championships. He won 2 medals in the Ibero-American Championships. Now he works as the sprints head coach for the Singapore Athletics team and deputy director at the Singapore Sports Institute. We will be talking about how to build high-performance athletes and teams in sports. Luis, it's such a pleasure to have you at the podcast. Welcome. Let's get to know who is Luis. Can you tell us about your story?
So my connection with the sport is have more than 40 years. So first I was an athlete in athletics. I did sprints. So I was not a top international athlete, but so I break national records. I was a national champion. I participate in 3 Olympic Games: Seoul, 88, Barcelona 92, and Atlanta 96.
Oh.
And then all my education was on sports also. And then my work, I also work in sports. I was a physical education teacher, and then I work as a lecturer in university. And so all the things that I did as a researcher or lecturing was always in sports. Mm-hmm. And now for the last 8 years, I'm here also working in sports at the Singapore Sport Institute. At the same time now, I'm again the head coach from relays in athletics. So yeah, that's I'm being connected with the sport for a very long time. So I have different roles. Yeah, so pretty much I think that's my story.
Very good. Wow, that's a long career. You did a lot of things.
I'm already old, so that's why.
So what was if you can remember, what was one of the top highlights in your long career as an athlete?
One of the goals of all athletes is to participate in Olympic Games, and then some athletes have the talent to do more than participate. I never had that, so I participate in 3 Olympic Games, so I think that's the highlight of my career, so I can say that, yeah. So then I heard some things, of course, but I think the highlight, my introduction card is, okay, I'm an Olympian, because when you are Olympian, you are not a former Olympian, you are Olympian until you die. So yeah, that's in one word I can resume what I did in sport as my highlight is I'm Olympian.
But that's amazing, 3 Olympics. It's not, I don't think many athletes, they were able to attend 3 Olympics. Yeah. Can you tell us, how does it feel, like the first time, when you enter a stadium, like how does it feel to be at the Olympics?
Okay, so normally I did sprints, so I was a sprinter. So the 100 meters is one of the first events of the athletics program. So it's in the morning, so the stadium is empty. Funny thing is, in Atlanta, I compete on the first day, so I never saw athletics competition before because I was competing on the first day, and it was amazing because the stadium was full.
Wow!
When I come, it was a surprise, because it was not my first major competition, and then I said, "Whoa, what's this?"
How did you feel?
A different sensation, because normally the athletes, at least in my level, they don't compete frequently in big stadiums, crowded. So it was one of the the thing that I am not going to forget.
Very good. Okay, so but it was a long career. You had highlights, but also, so what was? Maybe you can share your lowest moment.
Okay, the lowest moments are always, not in my case, but in all athletes' case, is the injuries. And the injuries is part of the, come with the sport. Because at least in athletics, you need to be very near your limit. And when this happens, it's very easy to go beyond your limit. But if I needed to choose one, I think was my first Olympics. I prepared myself to do something and was completely a failure. So was tough because it was my first Olympics. I was young. I don't have the tools to that I have now to lead with this kind of So you work so hard and so much, and you felt that in training you are on a certain level, and then you go there, compete, and the result was completely outside my goal. Even knowing that more now than before, goals and wishes are different, and sometimes the athletes mix. Oh, I want to do this. Okay, for you to achieve this, there is a process. So if you are not able to or willing to do the process, this is just a wish.
Yeah. So you said something very interesting. And how do you take an athlete from wishing, like to wish to a goal, to really be committed to a goal? How do you
so
do that?
They need to know that if you have a big goal, you need to have other small goals. So like I said, you are preparing a major competition. So sometimes you train more than 1 year. Means you have to have small goals for every day. Every day you have, or every week, or every month. Otherwise, and this is a process. So you need to have a process, and this process you need to have different goals. And you need to see if you are doing the proper thing to achieve all these goals. I remember for the last competition, the things was for not my competition, my athletes. I realized, okay, you have 10 weeks until this competition, so I'm gonna do everything possible in the 18th of May. 18th of May was the last day of the competitions. I'm gonna ask myself if I did everything possible to help you guys, and the answer need to be yes. I want you also to do the same. So all the options that I did every day was in order to be able to answer yes to this question.
Wow.
So this is even on the training session, 3 hours. So I need to do different decisions.
Yeah.
So the decision is always under that major goal.
Wow, that's very interesting. So maybe you can share, I mean, first congratulations on, I think you went to the Southeast Asian Games, and then you had Veronica Shanti, which she made it, she achieved a gold medal, which is amazing, so congratulations.
Thank you.
So tell us, how was her journey to going from like starting training till she achieved the gold?
This SEA Games competition is Southeast Asia Games is like a mini Olympic Games for the 10 nations. Yeah. So it's a very important event for pretty much all this Thailand, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Myanmar. So she won in 2015 when she was 19 years old. So after that she struggled to achieve the same level.
Oh.
So then she started training with me 2 years ago. And then this COVID thing happened that affected everybody in the world in different areas. And then also she started working. She was a student. So her availability to train was not the best. So, and this was affecting her profoundly in terms of her way to train properly. And she was a few weeks before this competition, she was with no hopes of any good results. So then, during these last weeks of preparation, I tried to emphasize the resilience and the grit. So I think she was able to do the things that I thought was important, and then she was lucky to, because I use the word luck because when you earn a medal means you cross the finish line in first, but you don't have you have no control about what the other athletes are doing. So that's why the luck sometimes is something that you cannot forget. It was a long process, a difficult process, because at the end of the day she was not believing in herself, and a lot of times I believe that I was the only one who believed more than her.
Wow.
Yeah, so this was a everyday process, but at the same time I have athletes participating in 6 events, and on all 6 events they all earned medals. So it was a very SEA Games, very good SEA Games for me. So okay, the pinnacle was the gold from Shanti, and also the sprint events are different than other events in athletics. So let's see, if you saw a long jumper, you don't see him winning because he's doing the jump alone. When I say a long jump, I can say a shot putter or whatever. But when you see a race, you see all the competitors. So you see somebody winning, and sprints have this special place in events. So the way she win, and she was very emotional after the race, and all this touched a lot people. And I believe that athletes, normally the athletes are selfish, they need to be, but at the same time they need to have a bigger goal behind themselves. They need to be able to have impact on other people, be able to inspire other people with their performance. And I think this time she was able to put people in the situation that is a good situation.
So what was the moment that, do you think there was a moment that she felt that was possible? Like, what was the moment that clicked for her and she really believed was possible?
I think it was one workout that she did, the best workout ever that she did with me. Normally I tape, so instead of just telling her a time, is more impactful when I show them the time. So, okay, you did this. And when she looked at the numbers, whoa! So then I tell, okay, if you did this today, you just need to repeat on SEA Games.
Wow.
So I think this was, there were more workouts where she, I don't know exactly why, but she passed from a different level. Okay, there are things that I cannot share here with you, but yeah, I think was the moment where I believe more, and she believed that was possible, because normally in competition the athletes do better than training, some athletes. So I think after that workout, she really believed, okay, I think I can do certain kind of times there. If there are other girls who run faster, then it's out of my control. Wow. But I think it was the moment where she realized that she was able to do a PB. On her case was national record, and she was chasing that national record since 2015.
Wow.
So for 7 years.
Wow.
So it was one of the reasons why she was so emotional. Not only because she won, but also on top of that, she did the national record. So it was a combination of, yeah, it was perfect, at least for her.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow. So what I understood, so one is key, that the coach, or let's say the leader, needs to believe in the athletes, as sometimes more than they believe. That's one. And what you did really well was that. And then the second was she started to believe little things, little victories. She started to believe was possible, right?
Yeah.
And that increased her self-confidence.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, but for you to believe, you cannot just believe
Yes.
on top of nothing.
Yeah.
It's like I don't feel comfortable on trying for my athletes to believe that it's possible to break world records, because I don't believe on that.
Yeah.
They also don't believe. So the word believe, you need to be, otherwise it's just a wish. So it have to be a goal. The goal have to be challenge enough, but cannot be
Yeah.
too difficult. Otherwise, you're going to struggle, and again, you're going to be frustrated just because you don't achieve a goal that was very, very difficult since the beginning.
What separates a winning athlete
Yeah.
from all the others? Not just at highest level. For example, with Veronica, she's a winner. She won a gold medal. What separates a winning athlete from the others?
There is a base of some characteristics that you have to have.
Nice.
On top of that, you cannot. You have a ceiling on top of you that. So that's the first thing. So then you need to work a lot of different things. I have an holistic approach. So for me, it's important to identify what are the KPIs of any activity. So then, after you know the KPIs and you know the characteristics of the athletes, then you work accordingly. So then you know that the athlete have strengths and weakness, and then you need to select what are the priorities. Emphasize the strengths, or trying to improve the weakness, and there is not one way. Even with the same athlete, sometimes you work in one way, and other times you work in another way. So there is no formula to the same formula to the success. So I think when the athletes have pretty much the same talent, so then there is characteristics that help the athletes to cross the finish line in front. Sometimes they're really a lot of different things, and he need to see himself as an athlete. And if he see himself as an athlete, this is a 24/7 job, even when he's sleeping. So the idea is all the decisions that the athlete make have to be always with this thing on his mind. I'm an athlete. I need to eat or drink this whatever I need on this time because I'm an athlete. I need to sleep properly because I'm an athlete. I cannot sleep 5 hours or 6 hours because so they know all the things that they need to know in order to achieve everyday goals in order to achieve the big goal. So when you have the same athlete with the same talent, then what makes the difference is, I don't know, resilience is very important. The grit is very important. But not just concepts. You need to work in order to, it's not just saying words. You need to know resilience means what exactly. I mean, not the meaning of the word, but what do you need to do to achieve that? So grit is, if I needed to choose one characteristic, I think grit is the one, because it's a mix of resilience and other things. So, but then you need to educate the athlete in order to for him to be is clear on his mind what he need to do.
So now let's let's say, if a CEO looks at sports, what can he learn? What is the one thing that a CEO from a company can learn from sports?
The CEO of SSI always, since I arrived in Singapore, always trusted me and believed in me. So I felt that he played a very good role, and he's the CEO on this. I felt always that he was there to support me, and he trusted me, and with that, I was more comfortable on doing the same with the athletes. So I think on this particular, my CEO really, what I felt that he gave me was, he trusts me, he believes on me. You as an employee, if you felt that senior management or somebody that is on top of you believe on you and give you the tools to improve. So I think these are things that are important on sport. A lot of coaches that have success have these characteristics. And I mean, you can, CEO from other areas can apply this, can take these lessons from sports. So
very good. So it's about, you really need to believe in the athletes, sometimes more than the athletes, so that they feel that, and then it helps them to succeed.
Yeah. So even it's not like I believe you can be Olympic champion. No, this is sorry, bullshit. But I believe that all the athletes, all employees can improve. Everybody have a ceiling, but they can improve, and they improve better or easier if somebody believes on them. And somebody believe on them means the people that are on top of them. So belief is important, but you need to be careful. Being positive just to be positive because you feel that can help people sometimes is not enough, because yeah, you can do it. Yeah, no, I'm tired. I cannot do it. Sorry. I mean, be positive is important. Believe is important, but you need to be honest with yourself and believe in things that are achievable. Otherwise, it's just words that, yeah.
Very good. So tell us about your next project.
We are at the last part of the season. I'm going to leave for US for the World Championships in 2 weeks. And then I'm going to prepare a few weeks before, and then after that, this is in US, and then we travel for the Commonwealth Games in UK. So next next important things are these two major competitions, and then the season ended for us in Singapore, and yeah, so that's the next major things for my athletes.
Very good. Luis, it was a pleasure to have you here. Good luck for your next World Cup, and keep helping these young athletes to achieve more successes.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.